This is Eb. I'm here to talk about something today called the Looth-Group. It is a group that I've been a member of for several years. A friend of mine named Ian Davlin started it. Looth being short for luthier. It's just kind of a joke word, but he started this organization 5-6 years ago, and it's just a place for luthiers to come together, talk, and share. One of the great things, just in general, if you don't know a lot of other luthiers, there's some really crabby people out there, but in general, it's been some of the nicest, kindest, most generous people I've met, and this is a place for all of them to gather. They're not keeping all their ideas hoarded to themselves. They're sharing them, and that's what this place is for. It's a hive mind, a place to come together. It is subscription based. I think it runs through one of those websites where you pay. It's just a few dollars a month. I forget what it is, so I don't want to misquote it, but you can go check that out if you go to Looth-Group. I'll put a thing up for it. But I've been doing it. It's invaluable. The depth of resources, the caliber of the people on there, the leading luthiers in the world are on there, and some of them are on there daily sharing information. This is different than message boards. This is different than Facebook groups. This is different than all kind of stuff, because it's kind of active and living and constantly working. Because of the subscription, something happens if you ask people to pay just a few dollars a month. All the meanies and the jerks out there stay off of it. I've never had one condescending remark from one person ever for any stupid question that I've asked. And I ask as much as anybody. I've never had, for the things I do that aren't best practice, I've never had a harsh remark from a single person. If you've been on any message boards, you know that's not typically the case. There's a few places on their website. There are message boards on there where you can post questions. You can look at old presentations. One of the really cool things that is constantly happening, this covers every aspect of building and repair, heavily on the repair. For us repair people, think about cars. Car people have transmission guys, they've got brake guys, exhaust guys, finish guys, everything. There's specialty shops for all this stuff. There's tire shops. As guitar people, we're expected to understand every aspect of every guitar, beginning to end, and they're all made totally different materials, all that kind of stuff. So this website and group has been invaluable in coming across weird things and being able to ask questions. And somebody's probably dealt with this problem before. Now, I'm a full-time luthier. I do this full-time, so I'm able to get on there regularly, but it's not just for full-time people. Don't be embarrassed about getting on there. There are all levels of builders and repair people on there. And they're there to learn, and they're there to share, and there's no gatekeeping. Or if this sounds interesting to you, you are a welcomed guest there. I want you to know that right up front. The coolest thing about it, I think, thing that made it really unique in this modern time we live in, is a part of it called the Looth Along. A lot of people like myself, I work here in my shop primarily by myself. I'm here all day, which is fine. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people might work at a music store, but they work in the back of the music store in a little room. There's not a lot of people to talk about all the weird things we do with. There's no one to talk about those things with. So this group, it's a Zoom channel that's going around the clock globally. It's just this portal that you can just pop into, and depending on the time of the day, there's people from all around the globe checking in there. And there might be 3 or 4 people, or there might be 30 people. And you can just talk. What are you doing? Well, I'm doing this, and it's really, really cool. I think that's the nicest part, is definitely the companionship that comes from that. During that time, you ask questions or tell people what you're doing and say, hey guys, I'm having a problem. Has anybody heard of this problem before? Or I'm really confused about how to get the neck off this guitar. And somebody will say, oh, those are very hard to get off. You are not foolish. They are hard. It's not you, it's the guitar. So it's really nice to hear all the time. And just to make friends that are into the same things and talk about those. I can't talk about that part enough. The other part that's particularly cool is that they have classes every week, sometimes several a week. These are leaders in all fields of guitar building and repair globally, because we're all connected through this Zoom channel. There are classes hosted on the Zoom little portal that we're on. So every aspect of it, from little bits of finish touch up to electronics to Italian physicists voicing tops using algorithms and software and all this kind of everything. We'll have violin people on, mandolin people, everything is on there. And there's a couple a week. It might just be set up, fretwork, CNC, 3D printing, all that kind of stuff is constantly happening on there. The cool thing is, if you missed it, I always miss them. I'm busy, I forget about them. They archive all of them, and those archives are accessible at all times. And the coolest thing is you can go back and say, oh, my bass setup, setting up electric bass, I feel very insecure about that. Well, guess what? They've got a video of one of the best bass setup guys in the world, Evan Gluck. It tells all about everything he does and tells you every little secret about how he does a bass setup. I was able to watch that. Now, every time I do it, I just do what he does. And it's like, well, I know I'm doing a good job because I've gotten the best information. I'm not just trying to figure it out myself. So imagine applying that to every aspect of repair work. And that's a particularly cool part. As I said, everybody on there has been very generous about sharing information. There's so much within that, business aspects of how to run a repair business or building. All of that is on there, some invaluable knowledge from people that have been doing this decades and decades and decades, who have thought about it and experienced it, and made wise choices to do these things better, and then they share with you their results. Instead of learning it the hard way, you can learn it the easy way, which is not using hard-headedness, but learning from people who have done it well, have done it wrong and well, and they're able to tell you the good ways to do these things. So that part's super cool. There's a lot of, I'm not as into this, but there's a lot of, if you're into the 3D side of things, as far as drafting goes, either for repair or for building, all sorts of things. There's a lot of, there's a whole section and a little club for 3D stuff. And the cool thing is everybody's doing the same thing. We're working on the same kind of guitars for the most part, and we're using mostly the same tools and a lot of the same practices, and somebody's always thinking there's a better way to do that. So constantly there's new tools coming out and new jigs and new parts that people are coming up with to work on the same instruments and the same tools, but attachments for it. And a lot of those, these very generous people, they've taken all this time to draft it and develop this part. There's a section on the website called Looth-Prints where you just download these new special calls for clamping and fretting and headstock repair, all these sort of things. Whatever you can dream up, there's so much of it. And people are sharing. I think some of that's open source where they'll develop it together and work and modify it and send the files back and forth, and they both print it off and see how they can change it. That's happening now, and it's making our life so much easier as builders. And again, people, you can go check out their work. They're not just talking. I mean, it's just such quality stuff. So it's called the Looth-Group. I'm going to have a link down there. I may be able to tag them in this somehow also. Please check the comment section. Go Google them, watch it. You can see what they have to offer, and I can't recommend enough checking out, giving them a try for a month, and see what it's like. I hope it stays and lasts forever. So much of what I do now, there are so many things that I do constantly that as I'm doing that, I'm remembering, oh, I learned this from that person on this platform. As I do these skills, I think about where they came from as I use them. So it has been invaluable to me in knowledge and in friendship of the really kind people all across the platform. So hopefully that's helpful to you, and check it out and tell me what you think in the comments, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.